In today's programme, we see people meeting the police in a variety of different situations. They tell us what had happened just before they met the police, and they describe how the police behaved towards them. There's some practice with talking on the telephone and describing people and places. That's important if you are reporting a crime. We meet a woman police officer and hear her opinions on equality of opportunity.
This is a job for Sherlock Meterman.
And Meterman thinks that he would make a good detective. Everyday English.
Well, yes, I admit I did go for a red light. The police car came up behind me, lights flashing, and I pulled over and stopped. They just gave me a warning.
Right. Are you the owner of the vehicle, sir?
I am.
Right, I'm not very happy with the standard you're driving. However, on this occasion, I'm going to give you a verbal warning.
They spoke quite politely, but, well, how would I describe it? Firmly. They spoke very firmly.
Hello there, I understand you've reported a burglary.
Yes.
Okay, I'm PC Dyer, and this is my colleague, PC Buchan.
Hello.
Right, is it all right if we come in?
Yeah, please
Okay,
do.
thank you.
It happened while I was out. The burglars had broken a window and taken the video and some other electrical equipment. The police came very quickly. They were here in under 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
They broke a window in the back room and came in.
It looks like they've had your TV away.
Yeah, it was almost new.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you take the grass?
They were very thorough. Later, some more officers checked everything very carefully for fingerprints.
I've done nothing.
Calm down, keep your language down, all right? I want to have a word with you a minute, all right? Just calm down. Hey!
The first thing we knew about it was when the music stopped and it suddenly went quiet. I'd been dancing with Dave and we stopped like everyone else.
Pete and Sharon had been having a drink at the bar, I think. They searched 4 or 5 people. One guy didn't like it. He reacted violently.
The police had to get hold of him quite roughly, and they took him out to the van.
Calm down and come with me.
All right, just
Come on, that's right, don't get involved.
Good morning. I wonder if you could help me. We just had lost our airline bag. We went straight away to the police station, which is not far away, and we reported that we had lost the airline bag.
And where did you last see it?
On a bus from... we had been traveling by bus, so we gave them all the details. The police officer was quite polite, and he spoke slowly and clearly, so we could understand.
Now, here comes a helping hand, saying what had happened. The past perfect and the past perfect continuous tenses are used for an action which came before another action in the past.
The burglars had broken a window and taken the video and some other electrical equipment.
The burglars had broken a window. They had taken the video and other electrical equipment.
I'd been dancing with Dave.
I'd been dancing with Dave.
Pete and Sharon had been having a drink at the bar, I think.
Pete and Sharon had been having a drink at the bar.
We had been traveling by bus.
We had been travelling by bus. Next, describe how people behaved and how they spoke using adverbs.
They spoke quite politely.
They spoke quite politely.
Why do you think I stopped you then?
But, well, how would I describe it? Firmly. They spoke very firmly.
But firmly. They spoke very firmly.
Do you want to have a look inside it?
Later, some more officers checked everything very carefully for fingerprints.
They checked everything very carefully.
One guy didn't like it. He reacted violently.
One guy reacted violently.
The police officer was quite polite and he spoke slowly and clearly so we could understand.
He spoke slowly and clearly so that we could understand.
I admitted that I crossed a red light. They asked to see my driving licence. They warned me that if I was found doing it again, I might lose my licence.
They asked me what time I'd gone out and when I'd come back. They wanted to know if I'd seen anyone hanging around near the house in the previous few days. They told me that there had been a lot of burglaries in this part of town in the last few days.
A police officer told us they'd received some information about possible drugs at the club. He asked everyone there to cooperate. He said that they were going to search a few people.
Now, a helping hand again, reporting what was said.
I admitted that I crossed a red light.
I admitted that I had crossed a red light.
They asked me what time I'd gone out and when I'd come back.
They asked me what time I had gone out.
They wanted to know if I'd seen anyone hanging around near the house in the previous few days.
They wanted to know if I had seen anyone near the house in the previous few days.
A police officer told us that they'd received some information about possible drugs at the club.
A police officer told us they had received information about possible drugs at the club.
He asked everyone there to cooperate.
He asked everyone there to cooperate.
I've done nothing.
Specialised English. Neighbourhood Watch is an organisation run by the residents and neighbours together with the police in a particular street or area. Together, they work to stop crimes such as burglaries, theft and car crimes. These people are learning how to start a neighbourhood watch group.
If you see anyone acting suspiciously, then please call your local police.
What do you mean suspiciously?
Well, if you see someone hanging about with no particular reason for being there, if you see someone trying car doors or walking up the sides and backs of houses and in any way acting furtively, secretively or suspiciously, then please contact the police and inform other Neighbourhood Watch members.
A helping hand. Let's look at some of that again. First, some more practice with adverbs of manner. Most of them end with ly.
If you do see someone behaving suspiciously, then please call your local police.
If you see someone behaving suspiciously, call your local police.
What do you mean suspiciously?
What do you mean, suspiciously?
Behaving furtively, secretively, or in any suspicious manner.
Behaving furtively or secretively, or in any suspicious manner.
The security of your house is most important. Good locks on windows and doors, at the front, at the side and at the back of the house. If you have a driveway or path, put down gravel instead of a hard surface. That way, anyone who comes can be heard easily. A dog, especially a dog that barks loudly, is always a good way to deter a criminal. We suggest you go round your house checking carefully. At the front of the house, check front door and windows and make sure you have really secure locks. At the side of the house, check again. Do you have any small windows which could provide entry? Is it a dark area where a burglar might hide? Install a light which goes on when someone walks past. At the back of the house, check doors and windows again. If you are out all day, don't leave milk outside the front door. That's as good as writing a letter to the burglar, telling him that you're out. Ask a neighbour to take the milk in for you.
A helping hand. Here's some help with prepositional phrases to talk about position or direction.
We suggest you go round your house checking carefully.
We suggest you go round your house, checking carefully.
Good locks on the windows and doors, at the front, at the side, and at the back of the house.
Good locks on windows and doors at the front, at the side, and at the back of the house.
Don't leave milk outside the front door.
Don't leave milk outside the front door.
A dog, especially a dog that barks loudly, is always a good way to deter a criminal.
Here's another adverb. A dog, especially a dog that barks loudly, is always a good way to deter a criminal.
Sorry, please. Farnham, can I help you?
Oh, good morning. Could I have the neighbourhood watch duty officer, please?
Yes, one moment, please. I'll transfer you through to the duty officer. Thank you.
PC Lewin, can I help you?
Oh, hello. This is Christine Smith of the Bourne Neighbourhood Watch Group. I'd like to report something I've seen in our area.
Just a moment while I take down the details.
There's been a car parked in the lane at the side of the house for the last 3 days, always at the same place. It stayed a couple of hours and then it drove off.
Could you describe the vehicle?
Oh, yes, I have the details here. It was a grey VW Golf, registration number C813GGH. It was parked outside number 24. I know the house is empty. The owner's away on holiday. This morning, the driver got out of the car suddenly and went round the back of the house, quite openly. And there he joined another man.
Can you describe the two men?
Well, the driver, he was wearing a black jacket over a blue shirt and black jeans.
What height and build was he?
He was fairly tall, about 5 feet 10 inches tall and medium build. He had short cropped hair with a strange curl at the front.
And what age?
I'd say probably mid-30s.
And the other man?
Well, the other man was much younger. In his 20s, I think. He was wearing a red and blue checked shirt over blue jeans. And he was wearing glasses as well. He had longish hair. I think he was rather on the thin side. He was shorter than the driver. I'd say about 5'5", 5'6".
Thank you for the details and for the good descriptions.
Could you inform other members of the Neighbourhood Watch Group? Yes, of course. Thank you. Bye-bye.
A helping hand. And now, talking on the telephone.
Oh, good morning. Could I have the Neighbourhood Watch duty officer, please?
Could I have the neighbourhood watch duty officer?
Yes, one moment, please. I'll transfer you through to the duty officer. Thank you.
One moment, please. I'll transfer you through to the duty officer. Next, giving a description. First, the car.
It was a grey VW Golf, registration number C813GGH.
It was a grey VW Golf, registration number C813GGH. And describing people. First, clothes.
He was wearing a black jacket over a blue shirt and black jeans.
He was wearing a black jacket over a blue shirt and black jeans. Next, height.
Oh, he was fairly tall. I'd say about 5 feet 10 inches.
He was fairly tall, about 5 feet 10 inches. That's 1 metre 77 centimetres. And his hair?
He had short cropped hair with a strange curl at the front.
He had short cropped hair with a strange curl at the front. And his age?
I'd say probably mid-30s.
I'd say probably mid-30s.
Oh, the other man was much younger. In his 20s, I think.
The other man was much younger, in his 20s.
And his hair was rather longer.
His hair was rather longer.
I'd say he was rather on the thin side.
He was rather on the thin side. A personal view. Police Constable Jonathan Dyer is patrolling the streets of Farnham in Surrey, a typical British bobby on his beat.
A bobby on the beat is as natural as seeing a post office, a pub or a telephone kiosk. People want to see us walking the beat, talking to them and letting them know that we're providing a safe place and we're there to help them if there's a problem where they do need to speak to the police.
Whether they are using traditional methods or the latest technology, the Surrey Police employ highly trained officers, men and women.
Today, there are no departments within the Surrey Police that aren't open to male and female officers alike. I don't think that there are any roles left which are specific gender-oriented, other than in specific cases of perhaps searching prisoners or dealing with specific cases, say of rape or serious sexual assault, where the victim requests or requires a female officer.
My fellow police officers, the female ones, are just as capable of dealing with violent situations as I am. We're trained to an extremely high standard. I am glad to say that we don't carry firearms as a norm on the street, and in all the potentially conflict situations I've been in, female police officers have been as able as any man.
Initially, your 2 years are spent doing beat work or crewing a car, so that you get just to reinforce your basic policing skills. And after that, I went on to the search team. We're very aware of terrorist threats in Surrey and in other parts of the country, and we were used on defensive searches for, if we had, say, army bands or other dignitaries coming to Surrey, we would clear an area and ensure that it was safe, using the search team and explosive dogs from the dog unit as well.
After her duties with the search team, Julia discovered that she was expecting a baby.
As soon as you declare pregnancy, you're taken off from ordinary patrol. So I worked in the control room, the divisional control room, for the duration of my pregnancy. And then I returned to beat work, patrol work, but applied for my initial firearms course, which I attended 3 years ago. And since then, I've been an authorised firearms officer.
Although British police officers do not usually carry guns, they do have equipment for their protection.
Including what we carry for our safety and members of the public is what we call the quick cuff, or the rigid cuff, or the speed cuffs. I'm loath to use them. However, for my personal safety and for the safety of members of the public, and including the person I might be arresting, they are a good tool.
Moving round this way, this is our asp, which replaced the traditional police truncheon that we were issued with for many years, which was just a lump of wood. As you can see, it's quite compact and holds nicely into the hand, and can, if you're going into a potentially conflict situation, be quite tidily tucked up into the sleeve, so it's not obvious to people that you are in fact carrying your asp. It extends in a number of ways and is obviously a fairly useful piece of equipment to use should the need arise.
And there's an old saying that in heaven all the policemen be British, and I'd like to think that's quite true.
Good morning, Vicar. Good morning. Your electricity consumption is nicely down this quarter. I'm happy to report. I'm afraid it won't be such good news at the manor house next door, though.
Dear Lady Thornton Monchelsea, times are hard. Are you off to the manor now?
Yes, indeed.
I shall be visiting her ladyship myself a little later in the afternoon.
Oh, perhaps we shall meet again then.
Fine.
Goodbye. Borton Monchelsea Place, a living history book. The family goes back hundreds of years, but do you know, they've now run out of money. Lady Borton Monchelsea, or dear Lady B as I call her, is as poor as a church mouse. That's one of my little sayings, as poor as a church mouse. That's why she has to have these tourists. Dreadful people, poking and prying, taking photographs, touching everything.
Good of you to come. Please, don't touch.
I don't know how dear Lady B puts up with it. It must break her heart.
Did you see that child? He was behaving atrociously. No manners at all.
I can't believe my eyes. That butler, he was pocketing the money.
They do look extremely suspicious. I shouldn't be surprised if there's some dirty business going on here.
So? Dear Lady B, have no fear. Meter Man is here. This is a job for Sherlock Meter Man.
Everyone, keep calm and don't move. I am an expert detective and I am now in charge here. Tourists, be as good as to await me in the drawing room. You!
Who, me?
Yes, you. Get outside and lock all the doors. Nobody must leave the house. You, sir, are under arrest.
Oh, no, not Watson. I'm sure it wasn't my butler, Watson.
Excuse me, sir. Why are you accusing a faithful servant who has been in the family for 33 years?
Elementary, my dear Watson. We will find the evidence in your pocket.
I am never without her ladyship's gin.
All right, everyone. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want you to think very carefully. It is most important. You, young lady, tell me what you were doing.
Well, actually, I was looking at the pictures.
Were you alone?
No, I was with my son.
Your son? Most peculiar. Describe him to me.
Well, can't you see him?
I said describe him.
Well, he has brown hair, brown eyes, medium height.
That is correct.
I saw the clergyman, the vicar, and he was behaving most strangely.
Go on.
Well, he was picking things up and putting them down, and he was most rude to me, most unlike a vicar.
And where is this vicar now? Has he vanished into thin air?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just looking for dear Lady B. Has anyone seen her?
Good afternoon, Vicar.
Arrest that man and secure him!
Meter man!
Meter man? What do you mean? I just want to see Lady B. Open wide. There. Now, young lady, show me to the telephone. I must call the police.
Meter man, you're my hero.
Hero, eh? Yes, you're right. I should be famous. I should be in the newspapers. Perhaps I should ring them first. Connect me to the Daily Splash immediately. Dear Lady B, everything is under control.
Oh, so good of you. Excellent work.
Yes, Daily Splash. Yes, this is Meter Man here. I'm at Bourton, Monchelsea Place, and I have just arrested a most dangerous criminal. Thank you very much indeed. They are sending a top journalist. He should be here very soon. Now, what else did I have to do? Phone the police. What's their number?
999.
9, of course, yes. 9.
Oh, no, you don't. You're coming with me. And as for you, you stay where you are.
What will happen to Meter Man? Can he escape? Watch next week to find out more. Use your eyes. The office of the local police is called a police station. The inquiries desk is the place to go if you have a problem. Everyone should know the telephone number to dial to contact the police. Perhaps the best known numbers in the English language are 999. Each police officer wears the crest or badge of the police force that they represent. And every officer has his or her special number. You will find more work to do in your student's book and all the usual exercises, grammar and vocabulary. Local newspapers are interested in reporting crimes and other good stories too. Join us next week to find out what's in the news.